Hey everyone, Tech Steve here and welcome back to the channel. On this video, we're going to do a quick comparison against the TCL R655 from 2022 against the newer TCL QM8. Now we'll tell you that both of these TVs use 10-bit panels and that introduced billions of colors. They both have Dolby Vision, they both have Dolby Atmos output, and both of these TVs have what they call Dolby Vision IQ, which adjusts itself to the content that you're watching. I feel that the R655 is a great TV when it comes to picture quality and performance. The only downside for me is that it uses the Roku operating system, and at this point it seems a little bit dated in comparison to other operating systems on the market. And I remember the full review when I talked about this television, and the downsides of it was that you couldn't add your own Bluetooth devices. You had to go with what they call Roku ready devices. I also talked about some of the different settings, like for example, I had a PS5 connected to it and the TV wouldn't go into gaming mode until I went back into the HDMI settings and switched a few things around. But I would say since then, I think Roku has took care of that, but I didn't want to go over this video. But when it came to picture quality, this TV, fantastic, fantastic. I mean, it has 288 local dimming zones. Again, it supports all of those nice formats like the HLG. So if you're looking for a TV that you can probably find at clearance right now, the R655 would definitely be a good TV to go with. In my opinion, after reviewing the QM8, this TV is a beast. And now I made a full review, so we won't go over everything, but I will tell you that now it's back on the Google operating system, which gives you access to the voice commands and a much larger app store that most people are going to use. It also includes the new Apple AirPlay 2, HDR Ultra, IMAX Enhanced, just to name a few features in it. And this TV has up to 2000 nits, which is insane for brightness. And they did update the local dimming zone for better contrast. So now you have 1080 local dimming zones versus the 288 that was in the R655. And one little feature that they added that a lot of people don't talk about is that if you look at Samsung products, they use HDR called HDR10 Plus. And this TV will support it as well. And TCL also added a subwoofer on the back of this television to give it the extra bass response. So for you average consumers out there, I will tell you picture quality is the most important. There's a couple of factors of the software that you may or may not like, but whenever you put a signal on it, that's all that matters. Now I will tell you both of these TVs use mini LED, and what that means is that the pixels are much smaller. It does two things for you. First of all, it allows the TV to be much brighter. The second thing is it gives you better dark levels. The contrast of the TV is going to be much blacker. Not as good as an OLED, but pretty darn good. Now, the way I set up my test is that I put both TVs in cinema/theater mode, so they're on the same playing field. The second thing I did is I adjust my camera for the brighter TV. Now, keep in mind, I will tell you that the R655 is going to appear to be brighter, but the QM8 has 2000 nits, so if I wanted to, I can go into the settings, crank up the brightness, but then it wouldn't be a fair test. With that being said, let's take a look. At first look, both of these TVs have really good contrast ratio, but I will tell you that whenever you look at these different demos and a pure black screen, you can see where those local dimming zones are really working on the QM8. Also, the gradient on the QM8 is much better, so you don't see as many artifacts as you would see on the R655. For watching your standard sporting event, I think both TVs work really well, but I do notice that there is a hint of a little bit more contrast again in the QM8, and it appears that the green is slightly greener, but you can make some adjustments on both TVs if you don't have them side by side. When watching movies or any type of content that has slow or fast action scenes, I think both TVs do a really good job. Again, the QM8 seems to be just slightly smoother, but it's not as major improvement as I thought it would be. And for the skin tone test, I think both TVs do a really good job, but the differences that I can see is that the shirts on the ladies are much blacker, and the color chart seems to have much better colors on the QM8. So in my opinion, if I was to rank these two TVs right now, according to knowing what I know, I'm going to give the R655 a 6, and I'm going to give the QM8 a 9. And the main reason is that the R655 is a great television. I think if it had Google operating system, it would be a game changer for that TV. But the fact that the TCL QM8 has the Google operating system, they added the subwoofer, it also has a remote control with a backlight on it, it has better software, more control over everything. It's just so many more features, and the TV is beautiful with up to 2000 nits and 1080 local dimming zones. So that's my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, leave me a comment right down below. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.